Hello students, this is the integer retest review. Okay, so I really need you to watch this video to kind of review the concepts that are going to be on this test. Remember, you can take the retest if you made anything below a 75 on the original test from last week. Okay, if you made below a 75, then you can take this retest and bring your grade up to a 75 if you make a 75 or higher. So let's go through these concepts real fast. First section on the test, as always, was the read and write integer. Now, when you're doing a read and write integer that's represented, I really need a number. Okay, you've got to give me a number, and that number has to represent that situation. Like, take for example, a loss of 8 yards. Well, loss means negative, so that's going to be -8, and then YRDS, yards, or YDS. This is considered the label. So if I say don't forget the label, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, 15 degrees above normal. Above means positive, so that's just going to be 15 degrees. If you can't find the little circle, then you just write the word degrees. You made $45, so that means it's $45 in your pocket, so that's just going to be positive $45. A debt of $36, well, debt means that you owe somebody money, so that's going to be a negative $36. Then 100 feet below sea level, well, below is a word that represents negative, so that would be negative 100 feet. So that's what I'm talking about by writing an integer that represents the situation. And don't forget your labels. The next section of the test is going to be comparing and ordering. Comparing is if I were to give you two numbers. So like -45 with a circle and 15. Well, we know that when we're looking at a number line, the number that is farthest to the right is always going to be the biggest. Okay, so in this one, if I give you a negative and a positive number, well, of course, the positive number is always going to be bigger. Okay, but if I were to give you two negative numbers, then the number that's farthest to the right on the number line will be the biggest. Not the one closest to 0, but the one farthest to the right. So in this case, the -15 would still be the larger one. Now, if I ask you to put numbers in order, I need you to, one, pay attention to what order I'm looking for. In this particular question, it says least to greatest. So that means that we're going to do them from left to right. So you think about them in terms of a number line. So all these numbers right here, the one furthest to the left would actually be -6. Then as we look at these, the next one would be -4, and then -3. Okay, so we can cross those out as we go. Then the -2, then the 0, then the 3, then the 5, and then the 7. So that would be the proper order. Okay, so if you think about the numbers on a number line, least to greatest means left to right. Greatest to least means right to left. Okay, pretty simple to do. Okay, the next section of the test is dealing with absolute value. We need to remember that absolute value means the distance a number is from 0 on a number line. Don't care which way, just what's the distance. So this question right here says, what's the absolute 5? Or this line right here says, how far is 5 from 0? So how far is 5 from 0? 5. What's the absolute value of -7? How far is -7 from 0? 7. Again, I don't care which way, just how far. How far is 3 from 0? 3. How far is -4 from 0? 4. How far is -25 from 0? 25. Notice every single answer is positive. Please make sure when you're doing absolute value that your answers are always positive. Okay. Then we move to addition. How do I know that that's going to be an addition problem? Well, there's going to be a plus in the middle of the problem. If there's a plus in the middle of the problem, we have two steps. If our signs are alike, positive, positive, negative, negative, I'm going to add my numbers and keep the sign of the problem. If my signs are different, one's positive, one's negative, then I'm going to subtract my numbers and take the sign of the number with the greatest absolute value. In other words, the number farthest from 0, that's the sign you take. -4 plus 6, well, my signs are different, so I subtract. 6 take away 4 is 2. The 6 is farthest away, so it's a +2. 5 plus -9, my signs are different, I subtract. The 9 is farthest away from 0, so it's a -4. Okay. Then we have subtraction. With subtraction, we don't do subtraction. We change subtraction. So we take that subtraction sign and we change subtraction to addition next to its opposite, and we go back to our addition rules. Signs alike add, signs different subtract. And then last but not least, multiply and divide. Okay, multiply and divide, there's two steps. Step number one, multiply or divide your numbers just like normal. Step number two, count your negative signs. If you have an even number of negative signs, your answer is going to be positive. An odd number of negative signs, your answer is going to be negative. Simple as that. So, if you can do all of this, then you can do the retest. Okay, so I need you to complete this retest by next Wednesday at 11:59. Talk to you later. And good luck.